All right. I want to explain a concept real quick. I was sitting there thinking, I don't know, I was brainstorming as always. And I was thinking about like value. And because a lot of times people get frustrated with me or they get angry when I tell them that they have no value, right? And I was discussing about in my life how I've made almost every mistake known to man, right? But in order for me to learn, I had to go through all those mistakes. Now, I'm not talking about like big mistakes. Well, every last one of them were big mistakes, but they were basic big mistakes, right? Like one basic mistake is being around people that don't want anything in life. That is a basic mistake. It's a huge mistake, but once you make it, you're like, man, that's pretty basic. Now, you've heard me say this numerous times if you've been paying attention to me. I say common sense is not common until it becomes common, right? So as I was thinking about that, I was thinking of this one concept. How can I explain to somebody that they're worthless or that they have no value? Which I've done this numerous times, and people get kind of frustrated with me and they look at me like, how could I say that they have no value? In my mind, it's because you have no value. You're worthless. You don't ever do anything. So when I was thinking, I was like, you know what? This is a grand concept. I'm going to show you. I'm going to use a dollar, just a dollar, right? Does this have value? It does, right? It's worth $1. Why does it have value? Because we can use it, right? Makes sense. Follow me. Now, watch. Now, does this dollar have value? No. Why? Because we can't use it. It is torn apart, right? So in life, as in that example that I just used right there, that's how everyone's a dollar, right? Or $100 or whatever you want to call it. Everybody begins with use, with value. But what happens is after a while, people become scattered, unfocused, and they become unvaluable. You can't depend on this person to do anything because they're all over the place, right? Just like the dollar that I just ripped up and just put it all over the place. It's all over the place. They have no value. So yes, everyone's human. Just like all those dollars are the same. They carry value. You rip that thing up, they no longer have value. Just like with people. Everyone's a person. Everyone has value. But what happens is the decisions that you make in your life and your actions after you make those decisions define where you are at this point right now, right? Now, I'm going to sum it all in. I'm going to bring it all together. Now, a lot of these lessons I learned, I've made a lot of mistakes. Again, full disclosure, horrible mistakes. However, I just wrote a book. Well, written a few of them now. But one of them is 12 Things I Learned in Hell, right? A lot of things where I learned a lot of things. I went through a lot, right? And if you read the 12 Years of Hell, you can read it and you can understand what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, I went through a lot. And, a lot of different struggles and triumphs and all that kind of good stuff. Well, through that, it taught me. Now, I'm 37 now. The book ends when I was 22. It took me a while of making mistakes, right? Up until maybe about 35. So we're talking almost 18 years almost 13 years of still continuously making mistakes, right? But then since then, every mistake that I made, I would fall a little bit, start way at the bottom and I make a mistake, or I progress and then make a mistake, come back down. Progress and make a mistake, come back down. You see what I'm saying? So progressively, I've been rising, right? And I progressing in life. However, it was about 35 when I decided to make a mere drastic change and then look back at the basics and figure out the basic mistakes on which I was failing. Now, with that being said, 12 very basic things I learned when I was between 10 and 22 that I've been able to now, at a much older age, be able to decipher and and decode or demystify, whatever you like to call it, for it to make sense to everybody else. Right? So I can articulate my thoughts and articulate what I learned and put it on a piece of paper so that you guys can understand it. And hopefully you don't have to make every last mistake. And if you understand that concept that I just said right there about ripping up the dollar, right? If you understand that, then I know that you're going to understand my book. If you didn't understand that, you're probably not going to want to read the book, right? It's just, you're not going to want to, because it's way past go like, woo, over your head. Now, I got it in 2 different ways. Now, click the link, right, wherever it is, and you're going to be sent to a different page. On that page, I'm going to explain the book just a little bit more. Give me your email address, right? And then I'm going to send you somewhere where you can read it all for free. And then every day I'm going to send you a chapter just in case you don't want to go and read it on web. You can just easily wait the next day and boom, comes in like a series, right? So no further ado. I hope you enjoyed my concept right there. I hope it made sense. And I'll see you on the other side.